Oh, it was very meaningful. I don't lose in Florida, so that's I took that one to the heart. I mean, pretty much take every game to the heart, but yeah, I don't lose.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It is Gator Hater Week. I'm not sure if you're aware, there is a pretty big football game taking place Saturday night in the Swamp, Tennessee versus Florida. And we all know the story, right? We all know the narrative. We've heard it all week long from the media. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since Tennessee has gone down there to the Swamp and came back home with a win. It's been since 2003. You guys ever heard of Casey Clausen? You guys remember the Iceman? It's been a long time, but I love that the media asked Jacob Warren about that, and he said, man, players don't really think about that. Like, we don't really think about what previous teams did, and that's the beautiful thing about college football. I love when fans of other teams come in and they talk about all the misery. It doesn't matter. What happened before Josh Heupel showed up on Rocky Top does not matter. What matters is the here and the now. Tennessee has a huge opportunity to go down there and get a W. Now, you guys know I'm a big fan of Josh Pate. I like what he does over there with late kick. He made his predictions yesterday, and spoiler alert, he picked Florida to not only cover the spread. He didn't just pick Florida to cover the spread, but he picked the Gators to beat Tennessee on Saturday night. He said we're going to see an inspired performance from Florida come Saturday. Not only do they cover, but they find a way to beat Tennessee. We're going to get into it. We're going to take a look at some of his talking points. We're going to talk about what I think Tennessee has to do to come away with a win in the Swamp on Saturday night. But I need you guys to do me a favor first. Hit that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, and easy. It does help the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, you're wondering what this is. Look, we're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be. We don't talk at you. We talk with you here on the Talkin VAWLS Network for the fans, by the fans. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live later tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Ben McKee from Go Balls 247 is going to be in the house helping us break down this game, and then we're going to go on and have a regular show with the cast and characters of this channel. Dauber's going to be in the house. X Factor is going to be here, and also a son returns to the channel. So tune in tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be a fun time hanging out talking Tennessee football. But let's get into it. Let's break down some of the comments that Josh Pate made about this football game coming up. You can see there on the screen, Tennessee favored by 6.5. That's something just recorded Locked On Vols with Eric Kane. That's going to be coming up on Friday morning, so tune in and check that out. But we were talking about how we have emotional reactions, right? Coming out of the Austin Peay game, we get emotional about what we see. Joe Milton struggled. The wide receivers struggled. All of a sudden, the sky is falling. Vegas doesn't get emotional. They've still got Tennessee at 6.5-point favorites. The ESPN FPI has Tennessee at 53.8% favorites to win this game coming up on Saturday night. So let's go through some of the talking points. What did Josh Pate have to say about this football game? Well, part of it was he talked a lot about the Utah game, Florida and Utah. Obviously, Florida lost that game to open up the season, and said that kind of changed some people's opinions of the Florida Gators football team. And I agree. I'm right there with that. I even made a video after it talking about Florida imploding, because that was 4 straight losses for them. They ended their year last year by losing to Vanderbilt. They also lost to Florida State and then Oregon State, and then they open up the 2023 season with a 24-11 loss against Utah. Look, they struggled in that game. They could not run the football. They had 13 yards on the ground, 0.6 yards per carry. They were 1 for 13 on third down efficiency. They had to rely on Graham Mertz. And look, that's something that I'm counting for on this football game coming up on Saturday. Tennessee needs to stop the run, force Mertz to beat you with his arm, and then pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. Tennessee is leading the country right now in sacks and also tackles for loss. I think if they pin their ears back, they get after Mertz, they're going to set themselves up for a good day in the Swamp. He will also turn the football over. If you don't get home, he threw 10 interceptions in 2022, threw 11 interceptions the year before that, so he will turn the football over if you get after him. Josh Pate also went on to talk about that game and how the early September version of a football team isn't always who you get later in the year. And I understand that, but guess what? It's still September, Josh. It's still September. Has Florida figured it out? It's kind of a case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Which version of Florida are we going to get? But you got to realize they played Utah week 1. That's a pretty good football team. They bounced back against McNeese State, and the numbers in that game, they threw for 233 yards, ran the football for 327 yards. So week 1, they ran the ball for 13 yards. Week 2, they ran the football for 327 yards. Which version of Florida are you going to get? And I know it's difficult. It's difficult to really look at it and really understand when you played Utah one week and McNeese State the other. When he talks about Tennessee, he said, what are you at quarterback? He said, you're not last year. You don't have Hendon Hooker. Can Joe Milton be efficient? Can Joe Milton have success in the swamp? Look, we can't just throw those little quick screens to the outside. You've got to be able to stretch the field vertically. I think Florida's probably going to stack the box. He went on to talk about how Tennessee only has 2 passing plays of over 20 yards. He talked about Milton's accuracy issues. He goes on, here's a quote, they're a running team right now. And he talks about Tennessee's defense. Can they carry a football game? And again, spoiler alert for Locked On Vols coming tomorrow. I talked about this exact point. Tennessee needs to come out and make Joe Milton comfortable. Make him comfortable. You need to have success running the football. And we've seen what Jalen Wright has done through 2 games, right? He's averaging almost 10 yards per carry. He's got 25 carries, 233 yards. That's good for 9.3 yards every time he touches the football. You got to feed the beast. You got to feed Jalen Wright on Saturday in the swamp. Get the ground game going. I think you've got a really good 1-2 punch with Wright and Jabari Small. And no discredit to Dylan Sampson because he can make this thing a 3-headed monster and come in and make some plays as well. But when we talk about Joe Milton and what he needs to do, I think it starts with the run game, and it starts with the defense. Make Joe Milton comfortable. Don't put too much pressure on him. Don't make him have to do too much. And look, he's going to have to hit some shots. They're going to have to stretch the field. They're going to have to get the vertical passing game going. Again, Josh Pate brought it up. Only 2 passing plays of over 20 yards. Look at all the huge flash plays that stick out last year with Hendon Hooker playing quarterback. And I get it. Tennessee is a running team. Don't get it twisted. They are a running football team, but eventually you've got to be able to hit on those shots. Josh Heupel's going to scheme you up. He's going to dial you up, and then you've got to be able to connect and go make those big plays. That's what this offense is. Another point that Josh Pate brought up is Florida not shooting themselves in the foot and the atmosphere in Florida. Again, man, going to keep spoiling Locked On Vols for you guys because we just finished recording it. Like just about 10 minutes ago, we finished that recording that's going to go up on Friday, and we talked about what was more important, the middle 8 or the opening 8. What's more important, that middle part of the game or the start of the game? And for me, it's Tennessee's got to start not necessarily fast. Don't let Florida come out and do something to get that crowd rocking early because I feel like they are at this breaking point. They are ready to either unload on Tennessee, and it's going to get hostile, and it's going to get loud, and it's going to be a crazy environment in the swamp on Saturday, or they're going to pack their things up and leave. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They lose to Tennessee. You're talking about losing 5 of your last 6 games, and you've got Murderers Row coming on the schedule for the Florida Gators. They have a brutal schedule in 2023. So if you drop 5 of your last 6, and then you got to go through this gauntlet of an SEC schedule coming up, their fan base is done with Billy Napier. I know I made the video last week talking about are they imploding. They're ready. If they're not, they're ready. They're waiting. But they're also waiting on something to give them some little glimmer of hope, a little spark, something to excite them. So Tennessee needs to come out. They need to start fast. Don't make mistakes. On the flip side, what if Florida shoots themselves in the foot? What if they come out and get a holding call and open up 1st and 20? Tennessee gets a 3 and out. Certain little guy back there by the name of D. Williams that is just waiting for a house call. I would love nothing more. Start fast on the Gators. Have their fan base sitting on their hands. Make that thing turn into Death Valley from a year ago. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section. Josh Pate from 247 Sports is picking Florida to not only cover, but to beat Tennessee on Saturday. I think this is a big one. I've talked about it all offseason long. I said this is the turning point. This is the most critical game on the schedule for me. Tennessee beats Florida. I think they're going to roll out of September at 5-0, and I think they set themselves up nicely to go win 9 or 10 football games in 2023. But what if we get down there in the swamp and Joe Milton struggles? You can't just throw the quick little wide receiver screen and run the football up the middle and have success. The offense has been vanilla. It's time to open up the playbook and go beat the Gators on Saturday night. But I want to hear from you guys. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, do me a favor and smash the thumbs up on the way out the door and go check out the merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Appreciate you guys picking up all the merch. You can get that Gator Hater shirt. What better time than now to pick up a Gator Hater shirt? And as always, I want to thank the members of this channel. You guys are the ones that pay the light bill around here. You keep this computer running. You keep me in front of a microphone talking every single day about Tennessee football. You want to be a part of that. If you enjoy the videos, the community aspect of this channel, the live streams, whatever it is, hit that join button down below. For as little as $1 a month, you support what we're building around here. I would greatly appreciate it. You can give a little bit more. You get access to the fan call-in shows, custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But if not, that's cool. Smash the thumbs up because that's quick, free, and easy. Jump over here in the comment section. Let's talk some Tennessee football because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.